Hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? Welcome to Review Sesh. If you've been here before, I really appreciate you coming back to visit me, and if you haven't been here before, give me just one moment, let me tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. So my name's Mike, and what I do is I review federally legal hemp products and devices. So it doesn't really matter whether it's a consumable product of any kind, or whether it's a functional device of any type. We're going to be looking at all of that stuff here on this channel. I really hope you enjoy the content that I'm making for you guys. So you guys know I love my flower reviews. We're going to be doing another one today, but this time it's coming from the Southern Maryland experience. We haven't really looked at anything of theirs in a while, but this is something new, and I'm really excited to check it out. But real quick, before we get into that, I want to go ahead and pass it on to my previous self, the self that didn't have a green screen before, and he's going to go ahead and reiterate to everybody what it is that we do here on this channel, and might even be able to educate you a little bit about what THCA is, and then right after we're done with that, we're going to get into the review. Alright guys, so as you know, what I do here on my channel is I review federally legal hemp products and devices. And a lot of these products have THCA in the name. And if you guys still aren't familiar with what THCA is, you're unsure about it, give me just a moment and I'm going to explain a little bit of that to you. THCA stands for tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, and it is the naturally occurring compound found on all hemp plants all over the world. It grows naturally on all hemp plants. And in and of itself, guys, it's not psychoactive. You wouldn't get any elevated effects if you go out and you eat a hemp plant or something like that. It doesn't work like that. It first has to undergo a process called decarboxylation. And decarboxylation, guys, I know it sounds like a fancy chemistry word, and that's because it is. But really, all it means, all it stands for, is the application of heat. So it doesn't really matter whether it's environmental heat, like the heat of the sun, it's just a hot day outside, or, we apply some artificial heat, like we are known to do, like a little bit of flame, maybe an electronic heat source, like what I like to use, that decarboxylates that THCA molecule, and it effectively just drops that A right off the end of that molecule chain, and it leaves you with good old-fashioned THC. So, guys, THCA minus A equals THC. And for all intents and purposes, since we're still putting this under the same processes everybody else has always put it under, you know, really, realistically speaking, guys, THCA is the THC that your fathers, your grandfathers, and everybody that's ever come before have always been speaking about. They've always been speaking about the naturally occurring compound on the plant. And it's just recently that we've had some confusing terminology and it's muddied things up a little bit, but I hope this has clarified things for you. And it's really important to go over this because since 2018 in the Federal Farm Bill, we have these things available to us without any worries whatsoever. Totally legal. We can get this stuff through the mail. We don't have to worry about going out and meeting people at odd times of night and putting ourselves at inconvenience at the very least and risk at the most. You know what I mean? So when you guys get your stuff in the mail, you're going to be getting one of these. This is a very generic copy. I use this specific copy every time that I explain this. And, it's a notice to law enforcement and the Postal Service. And it just declares what is in the package. And it states that, what is in this package is federally compliant, 2018 Farm Bill compliant hemp. All right, guys? Very important to hold on to these. For the foreseeable future, there's no point in getting rid of these. They stack flat. You don't have to worry about, them taking up a lot of space. So just hold on to these things, guys. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get into the review. All right, guys, with that out of the way, we are back with Candy Rain from the Southern Maryland experience. Real quick, though, guys, check out these new bags that they got over at the Southern Maryland experience. Really cool bags. Really cool. That's actually green. It's just going clear through my green screen, showing the background through it. Really nice, thick packaging. No smell is going to be escaping from these guys. Really nice. And of course, inside the bag, it always has one of these in it. So, very, very important. So we're going to be cracking open this Candy Rain. Really interested in it. This is 4 grams. THCa content listed on here is 30.67%, and yeah, total cannabinoids 31.74%. You got your QR for the full lab report if you want. Mm. Very interesting on the smell, very sweet, very berry smelling. A lot of fruit there. A lot of fruit. And here are the nugs. Very nice colors. Dark, dark purples, dark greens. Very interesting colors. Density, nice and dense. Nice and dense. Got some stick, guys. Look at that. Got some stick to it. Really nice. So I'm excited to try this, guys. We're going to be taking a cut here, and I'm going to get some shots of this. And then when we come back, we're going to be checking out, seeing what the cross of this is, and maybe talking a little bit about the lineage, and I'll let you know what I think. So hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back, and I've got some great shots of this Candy Rain from the Southern Maryland experience. Guys, I gotta say, this is beautiful, beautiful flower. This is gorgeous. Looking at these shots, there's heavy, heavy trichome density, very sticky. Um, Lots of purples, lots of really bright, bright and dark greens in there. Yeah, just really a pleasure. Very, very nice to see from the Southern Maryland experience, I gotta say. Really, really beautiful. And we're gonna be grinding some of this up. We'll see what we have on the keep side of things. I can tell in my grinder this is some very sticky bud. Um, in the herb saver, you can kind of, since it is plastic, you can kind of get a tell if stuff wants to stick a little bit. All right, see what we got here. Well, we got a little bit of keef there. We got a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and grind up a little more, see if we can't collect a little more, so I can get some keef shots for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind up these two other nugs real quick. I think some of you guys might be appreciating the keef shots with the microscope on the keef, so we're going to keep trying to do that whenever possible. And as usual, we will be using two different devices to paste this flower today. We will be using the original thermal twist from Crossing, and we will be using the One Hit Wonder from Crossing. Both wonderful devices, and I like them both for different reasons. All right. Yeah, we got a little bit to work with there, I think. All right. So you guys will have seen those keep shots by now. I will be putting them in post, and you'll be seeing them along with the other pictures. You should have already seen those. We will be having our first try with Microdome's bowl with the One Hit Wonder. And we will be using one of my favorite pieces. We'll be using the Midnight Sky Bong from the Weed Box. And we're gonna have a couple of bowls today. So I'm gonna pack these other ones. We'll be very thorough in our taste. I am extremely excited to try this after looking at it under the microscope. Quite often, if I get a flower and it really looks as good as this does under the microscope, I become a little giddy. I kind of want to get right into it. So First things first, we're going to be trying to microdose. This is Candy Rain from the Southern Maryland experience. Mm, that's sweet and sour berry, guys. That's, that's what that is. Very berry. Very berry, very sweet, with a good amount of sour on it, too. Really nice. Okay, get that out of the way. Now, what we're looking at on All Bud right here, guys, Candy Rain, also known as the Candy Rain, is an indica dominant hybrid strain. It's a 70-30, and it's a cross of London Pound Cake and Gelato. London Pound Cake, guys, amazing strain. Very, very nice strain in and of itself. And that is a cross of Sunset Sherb with another unknown indica dominant strain. Um, Typically, London Pound Cake, berry, fruity, pine, sweet on the flavors. And we have the berry and the sweet really coming through in a Candy Rain, guys. Um, with the addition of a nice sour note. Um, Listed here on All Bud, additional flavors are citrus, fruity, nutty. Fruity's redundant, so I'm going to chuck that out to the side. Citrus, there's not a ton of that. Um, Nutty, I'm not sure. We're about to see about that. It might develop into a more nutty flavor as I go through with the thermal twist, as I toast through it more slowly. Um, Effects wise, we're looking at calming, euphoria, giggly, happy, relaxing, uplifting, may relieve anxiety, chronic pain, depression, insomnia, and stress. Well, this is an indica dominant, so it's going to, offer some relief from stress. It's going to calm you. Uh, might leave you feeling a little bit, relaxed, which is always a good thing. That's going to help with anxiety, depression, insomnia, stress, that sort of thing. Pretty typical for an indica dominant. So now we're going to try this with the original thermal twist with the standard glass injector bowl. And I do like this setup, guys, because I can actually, without having to change my PID, which is set at 585 right now, I can take things up from a lower temperature up higher. Just based on the fact that, the glass bowl doesn't sap heat, doesn't heat sink, heat soak as quick as the titanium bowl. Eh, there might be a bit of citrus coming through on that one. Maybe. I will say though, the berry and the sour, the sweet and sour, very prominent in this strain. It's very smooth, but it does have a distinct sour hit to it. Very, very nice. And aromas, I didn't mention much about aromas, but when you open it up, the pack, it does smell sweet and sour berry. Um, it smells very what's the word? Not smooth. Um, it smells almost creamy though. So it kind of betrays what you're getting when you actually hit it. While it's smoke smooth, a vape smooth, I wouldn't really call it creamy because you do have that hit of sour. When that's kind of a punchy type of thing. Very, very nice. Very nice though. and it's sticking on the palate for a little while. So, that's something that I really enjoy. I'm looking for with this sort of flour. I want something that stays on my palate because I'm a flavor chaser, guys. I don't have a problem, um, you know, reaching the elevated levels that I look for on a day-to-day basis. But what I'm really looking for is the flavor. So I want something that the flavor is going to stick with me. I don't want something that I hit it and the flavor's gone immediately. You know, this is really this is really nice. It sticks on the palate for a while, and it's still there. It's kind of like how like GMO or cheese or something sticks on the palate. That's kind of what this is doing, except it's fruit, and it's a nice sweet and sour uh, thing going for it. So really, really nice. Mm, pardon me. And it is starting to change a little bit. It's caramelizing a little bit, and it is getting a little bit nutty. But I still can't account for why it would be listed as nutty on Allbud because I've got to assume that Allbud doesn't list based on vapor profile and you know temperature stepping and stuff like that. I've got to assume that the flavor profiles on Allbud are based on people snapping bong balls or smoking blunts or something like that. And I'm not sure if you're going to get to the point of nutty um, by just combustion. It tastes like this is something that's going to take a minute for it to go through the terpene profile to get to that point. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you'd get nutty um, if you were just combusting. That's something else I love about this device, guys. Is well, I love my thermal twist. It's great, 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 and it does get the job done. Sometimes you want to run two different temperatures, and honestly, the idea is set at a lower temperature than this. This one's set 5 degrees lower than this one. However, the ruby balls in there, the media, the ruby gems in there, they retain more heat, and it's easier to get a heavier injection of vapor through the flour. Really, really great for just finishing off a bowl and getting the most out of what you got going. Uh, I unfortunately got bit by the bug, the vapor acquisition syndrome bug. So now I have two devices running currently. I don't know what I'll have in the future. I do know a couple of people that have a half dozen or more devices, not necessarily running all the time, but always set up so they can be turned on and used. Um, and I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, guys. If I do, call help, call for help. Okay, get me help if I get to that point. But you might see one or two more. I don't know. Um, so far though, guys, really, really loving this candy rain. This this raises the bar, guys. That's all I'll say about that. This is good. This is really good. Previously, I've had some amazing stuff from the Southern Maryland experience. The Banana Punch Smalls were amazing. The Pure Michigan is always a winner, but this might be my new favorite from the Southern Maryland experience. This is really good. Quite pleasantly surprised. All right, so we're gonna run the diffusion side. Oh yeah, that initial hit, guys. That initial hit, sweet, sour berry. That's what you're getting on there. Really, really good. I wouldn't say there's any earthy gas or anything like that to it. It's a sweet and sour. Mm, very tasty. And it's pretty darn potent too. It's creeping on me really good too. Wow. That one expanded in there pretty quick. But man, is it tasty. Wow. All right, guys. So I really do hope you've enjoyed my little review of Candy Rain, the Southern Maryland experience. Really, really gorgeous. Gorgeous flower. It's a step up. Really is. That's um it's got to be my new favorite from the Southern Maryland experience. Very good stuff. Very pretty. Very, I mean, it's loud on the nose and it tastes wonderful. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys are having a great weekend or week so far. Um, we've gotten a lot of snow here over the past couple of days. I've been very busy just trying to stay warm and keep things going, keep things moving around the house, um, trying to keep things dry and all that sort of stuff. So been very busy with that, but we're looking forward to a nice week. It's looking like we might actually have some sun and be weather will be getting better throughout the week. And I'll be bringing you guys a lot more stuff throughout the week too. I've got to start really picking up the pace on this side of things so I can go over to the Green World channel and get that moving along. Um, so expect to see some more stuff. I've got more videos to film after this one. I'm gonna go ahead and film a few ahead, try to get ahead of things, so I don't fall behind, so I can make sure you guys get regular content coming to you. Uh, if there's anything you'd like to see on this channel, just let me know. If there's anything that you are sick of seeing, just let me know. Um, until I see you next time, as usual, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. Um, go out there and treat every day like there's something worth going after. Even if you're not making $1 million every day, go out and find something to amuse yourself with. Um, staying amused, keeping your mind active is very, very important. And so just keep on keeping on, guys. And until I see you next time, as usual, I want you to stay lifted and I want you to stay blessed. I'll talk to you very soon. Peace.